Greyfriars Kirkyard is a graveyard in Edinburgh, Scotland. It is also the site of one of the most bloody religious persecutions of the 17th century. For decades, visitors at this graveyard have reported sensing a dark presence, a feeling of unease, and other unusual disturbances while at the cemetery. The mausoleum behind me is that of Sir George Mackenzie. It's black in color, and it's also the source of the most well-documented paranormal activity in the entire world. It all began when King Charles II ascended to the throne and quickly disavowed the Covenanters' right to practice their religion. Those who ignored his ruling were rounded up, imprisoned, and harshly punished. Sir George Mackenzie, the king-appointed Lord Advocate, was placed in charge of the Covenanters' persecution on behalf of King Charles. In all, Mackenzie, nicknamed Bloody Mackenzie by his victims, was responsible for the death of 18,000 of his countrymen. Mackenzie's bloody reign of terror came to an end when he passed away in 1691. Ironically, he was buried in the Black Mausoleum tomb, located a short distance from where his victims were laid to rest. For 300 years, both victims and tormentor rested in uneasy peace, just feet from each other. And one evening in 1998, a homeless man, possibly wanting shelter from the rain, broke into the Black Mausoleum, the final resting place of the infamous Bloody Mackenzie. At some point during the night, the vagrant began to ransack the tomb. Unexpectedly, he fell into a pit filled with the remains of plague victims, dumped there ages ago as a quick way to dispose of the bodies. Engulfed in the remains and stench of still rotting flesh, the homeless man was heard screaming hysterically as he ran frantically out of the graveyard, into the night, never to be heard from again. Did this act of vandalism awaken the angry spirit of George Mackenzie? Since 1998, when Mackenzie's casket was first defiled, over 500 ghostly attacks have been reported by those visiting the tomb, many of them documented with photographs. Documented injuries include burns, skin gouges, unexplained bruises, and broken fingers. Some visitors have said they were punched or kicked by an invisible attacker. Others talk of feeling nausea or numbness, strange smells, or auditory hallucinations, all having occurred with multiple witnesses present. In 2000, Colin Grant, an exorcist and minister of a spiritualist church, performed an exorcism at the graveyard. Standing in the cemetery, it said he was overcome by the sensation of being surrounded by hundreds of tormented souls. Fearing for his life, he left quickly, saying the evil was too powerful for him to overcome. A few weeks later, Colin Grant was found dead of a sudden and unexpected heart attack. Today, many people believe this graveyard is haunted by Mackenzie's ghost, a malignant spirit whose hatred lives on from beyond the grave. And far from a restless or benevolent spirit, he exacts punishment on any who dare disturb his final resting place.